Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the features of Moxie Communicator and the ticketing system. Um, Communicator is designed to allow you to see all of your client communications in one place. So it allows you to pull in emails from multiple accounts. So you can link your Google, Apple, Microsoft accounts and consolidate all that email into a single pane of glass. Uh, it also, if you're in the US or UK or Canada, you can use our Communicator phone, which gives you an SMS enabled and voice enabled Moxie phone number that you can use to give out to your clients instead of giving your personal cell phone. So the Communicator phone does open up some other integrations in the platform, like you can send text message reminders from the meeting scheduler, but you can also just make calls or receive calls on your phone number. Um, so we will start with Communicator, and then we'll kind of go into tickets. And yeah, so in Communicator, you have, we'll start in the settings because then it'll kind of build on that. This is where you can link all of your email accounts. I have one business account and my personal account linked here. This integrates directly with Microsoft and Apple and Google with sign-in options, and then you can also do any IMAP or SMTP enabled email service that you're using. So pretty much any email provider you can plug in here. Google and Microsoft are really quick to set up. The others require you to find a help doc to figure out what the SMTP and IMAP servers are, but still pretty straightforward. Um, Your custom email here is part of Communicator. This is really your default outbound email when we send notifications for your workspace, um, invoice reminders, meeting scheduler confirmations. So this could be different than the mailboxes you connect. A lot of people connect something like a hello at type of email address here so that all the emails that go out that are kind of like automated come from something that doesn't necessarily look like you sent them yourself, because not all of them are personal messages. And then on the phone side, if you didn't have a phone number already provisioned on your workspace, you'd see a little select box here to choose your country. And then you'd select your country, and then it would allow you to search for phone numbers. And you can find one, reserve it, and then it would get provisioned. As we go through here, there's a number of settings here for the phone. Um, I'll just kind of rip through them and explain what they do. So this feature enables you to actually take calls in your browser. If you don't want to answer calls in your browser, maybe because you don't have good internet connectivity, you can always forward them to your mobile device. And that's this option here. Play incoming sound in browser. That's if you are accepting calls or text messages in the browser, it'll play a little ding or ring if it's a call coming in. This is a nice feature to silence notifications outside of schedule. So that's referring to your schedule here of when you're operating and in business. If you don't want to get annoyed by clients texting you, maybe you have no intention of responding. You don't even want to know they're texting you on a Saturday. You can turn this off or turn it on to silence anything outside of that window. You can choose whether when we forward to your mobile device, you want to see your own Moxie number as the caller ID, or you want to see whoever is calling you. Some people like to know that it's a Moxie call and know that they're going to answer it with the business, so they show their own number. You can record your voicemail message here. And then down here, you basically set your hours of operation. So the Communicator phone is really designed to create some separation between your personal life and your work life. So you give out this number to your clients instead of your mobile, your personal mobile, and then you can get some extra controls around when you want to get calls from your customers. And then you choose, this time zone is however you want to think about your schedule. So this is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in New York. Down here, if you have somebody who's spamming you or you need to block or they're sending you unwanted text messages, You can just drop their phone number in there, and Moxie will ignore any calls or text messages from that number. So now you've got your mailboxes set up, you've got a phone number. All of that information flows into the universal inbox here. So you'll see it'll all kind of be, I don't know where, it'll all be kind of mixed together, and you can choose what channel you want to see, whether you want to see calls or messages. You can click into these calls. If there's a voicemail, you can listen to it right here. You'll see that all intermingled with your emails, text messages, etc. in here. And so you can filter it, search it, but the idea is to give you one view of all of your customer communications in one place. And you'll see we get the little client avatars here based on who, if it's a email, we'll match the contact in Moxie with the from address to organize all of your emails by client. You can also see them in the client specific view. If it's a text message or a call, we'll use the phone number in the contacts to figure out which of your Moxie contacts it is. So it helps add a lot of clarity, not just you got an email from somebody, but also which client and which contact it is or phone number. So this allows you to kind of see all of your communications easy. You can send new emails from here. This allows you to integrate with the templating system. So if you send the same emails over and over again, you can write from Moxie, use your saved templates. The templates also work in the workflow automations. Yeah, what else? I don't know. Am I missing anything on the communicator inbox, Michelle? I think that's pretty much it.
I think you talked about like it only syncs known contacts. Maybe you can show the client version too, that you can
that's a good
filter
point.
it just to clients.
So for the emails, we don't want to see all of your spam emails in Moxie. Like that doesn't help you. You can go directly to Google and see all that. And so one of the features of Communicator Sync is that we only pull in emails from people in your contact list. And so when you're first setting things up in Moxie, you want to make sure all of your contacts are in the system. And then you go add your email accounts, because we'll go back and we'll find historic emails from all of your contacts and pull those in. And then we'll keep it in sync going forward. So this is an important feature, and a lot of people don't understand why they're not seeing their emails at first, and it's because they typically connected their email account before they added their contacts, and we don't sync anything unless we know who it is. So that is an important feature, and then the idea is that you only see stuff in Moxie that is related to your contacts in Moxie. Helps keep it focused. Email log is another feature. So anything that Moxie sends that's automated, that emails for invoice reminders, agreement reminders, meeting confirmations. If you ever want to see kind of what Moxie's sending on your behalf behind the scenes, you can come into the email log and you can see everything. You can click on them. You can see exactly what email sent out and to who it went to. Scheduled emails is another feature of Inbox where I can send an email and I can choose to send it later. So similar to how Google's send later feature, if you choose to send an email later, you can always come back to scheduled emails, see what's going to go out, when it's going to go out, and if you want to cancel it, you can cancel it. Email templates, these are used all over Moxie. The idea with email templates is you build an email and you use the token system to make sure that what the content of the email is dynamic based on whatever the context is that you're sending. So I have this is one of our standard templates, but you can see all of the tokens are being used to say, when the meeting starts. This will provide the meeting link, how long it is. And these tokens will, they're contextual based on what you're sending. You can see all of them over on the right side if you want to browse the various tokens that are available. But, so typically when you're onboarding with Moxie and you're setting things up, email templates are one of the first things you build out. Those emails that you send all the time, your new invoice notifications, your invoice reminders, meeting confirmations. So you can set all those up, use the tokens. We have a whole library of pre-built ones. So we've got our Moxie Essentials is kind of where the core email templates exist in our library. And they'll come pre-populated with all the tokens you need, and then you could customize it, style it. This is a full rich text editor, or if you want to actually, copy and paste HTML in, if you have a styled email from a different platform, you could copy it right in here and then replace the tokens. So that's kind of the core of Communicator: email, phone, text messaging. Over here, you also get your little phone and text messaging widget. So you can always text and call. You can keep this open all the time if you use the phone service a lot. You have, this was an inbound call, shows that I missed it, and they actually left a voicemail. So I have no idea who this person is, probably a spam call, but you can click that and you can play the audio file if you wanted to hear the voicemail message. And then I don't think there's any audio here actually, but if they did leave a message, we'll transcribe it and you'll see the actual text of the voicemail right in there. This was probably 3 seconds of silence and then they hung up. So throughout the app, you'll actually see some quick helpers that integrate with Communicator. So send email, send text, make call. There's also a book meeting quick helper, but you can select these and it'll send you right to the text message, or you can, don't want to actually call this person, but it'll pre-fill the phone number for you. And then you can also see when you're looking at contacts in your client overview, you'll see these little icons that will provide the same type of functionality throughout the platform. So you'll see call, text, email, or meeting, and it'll just quick links to make calls or text messages to your contacts. Okay, so that's Communicator. We'll go through ticketing real quick, which also tries to solve similar problems just in a more structured manner. Ticketing is for people who want to get out of their inbox. And so these are just normal, requests that are coming in from your clients, but you don't want to deal with keeping track of threads. You maybe want to capture some extra metadata around the request, what status the request is in, things that are hard when you're managing your entire life cycle of work out of your inbox. And so, again, we'll start in the settings. Every workspace has this special email address. And when a known contact sends an email to that email address, we'll open a ticket. And so most people don't actually have their client's email directly to this special address. They set up forwarding. So maybe you have support@moxie.com and you forward that through your mail server configurations to your actual custom email. And so your clients are emailing one of your branded email addresses, but they're getting into the ticketing system behind the scenes. So we have some help articles on this. Typically, you need to register whatever the support address is that you're forwarding from. Down here for approved client domains, this works well for people who work with agencies and maybe you're taking tickets or you want to sync emails from everyone at the agency, or maybe you're working with a big company and you don't have all the contacts, but you don't want to miss emails from anyone. then you can just put the domain in there, and then the system will accept emails from anyone at that domain instead of just a specific contact in your contact list. So when you set up tickets, you can have different types of tickets. So, for our, we have a lot of web designers, and so they may be taking like requests for building out new pages or landing pages. They might also be taking out graphic design requests for, maybe they need like to develop an asset for somebody. So they might have different ticket types that might have different stages. And this all integrates with the client portal as well, which I'll show in a second. But when you set up a new ticket type, you can attach one of our forms to it. So if they submit it through the client portal, you can ask them for a bunch of extra information along with the ticket submission. Obviously, with an email-based submission, there's no form, so that'll get skipped. And then you can choose generally like the status values of your tickets. So new, open, resolved, waiting on the client, that kind of stuff. Tickets. Let's see if I can close ones. Okay. So in the ticket, let's just reopen this. In the ticket, you'll see this is where it starts to make a lot more sense to manage your work requests in tickets as opposed to emails, because you can assign them, you can track who requested the work, you can track your status, your due dates. The due date will sync out to your dashboard so you can see when you have work to be done. You can track time against the tickets. You can see a stream of comments here instead of, if there's an email-based comment, you'll see an email in here. If they comment through the portal, it'll just look like a message, but much easier to keep everything organized in this sequential stream of comments as opposed to like a big long thread of emails. We have integration with the Moxie assistant here. So if you can click this, if there was some content in here, it would help you quickly write a response and you wouldn't have to spend a lot of time. It has the summary feature. So this won't summarize much because there's nothing in this ticket. But you can re-summarize as often as you want. Really helpful if you have 3 weeks of comment threads talking about changes. You can summarize it and then give yourself a nice quick too long didn't read for your own tickets here. And then this also all integrates with project management. So a lot of times you're going to take your requests through the ticketing system so you can kind of keep track of everything, but maybe you have some outsourced help that is doing maybe like the content for the web page or building out the actual HTML. You might want to create a task in project management that they'll actually work from so they can track the work that needs to be done. And so you can create a new task directly from the ticket, and that'll carry over a bunch of the information. So you can see it's in a resolved status, but you can see the ticket here. And let's move this back to open. And then when I go here, you'll be able to see that it's open. And if you're back on the ticket view, you can see the tasks and what stage they're in. So maybe more than one task gets created to satisfy the work required for a particular ticket. You'll be able to see them all here, click into them. If you were to comment here, so this is commenting on a task. That'll actually sync into the comments of the ticket itself as a private comment. So if the people who are working on the tasks are making comments directly on the tasks, and you have like a project manager who's working out of the tickets, they'll all sync up and everybody will see the work that's being done. So nice integration between project management and tickets to actually get stuff done. There's a little merge feature a lot of times with emails, clients will not respond to the right ticket, or maybe they'll create a new ticket accidentally. And so you can easily merge tickets and combine them if two tickets get open for the same project. So let's take a quick look at what this looks like for the client portal. So from the client side, this is their view. They can come in here. They obviously don't see that private comment. They can add more information, more attachments as needed. If they need to come in and make a new request through the client portal, this is where those request types come into play. And I have those forms attached. And so you can see we're gathering extra information on the submission here based on the request type. So that one I just had a big text area. This one I have a date and some checkboxes. And so now I'll get a notification that I got my new ticket over here. And we can see, since that came
We're
in
still
with
in
a
client
form.
portal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So we got the notification that we got the new ticket from client portal. And then here you can see if you ask for extra information in the form, you can get that information and then it'll show up right in the ticket. And then the comments from the client, which I didn't leave any, will get sent there as well. And then also, the client would have received an email confirming that their ticket was opened, and then at any point in time, they can reply to that email to add more context to the ticket. Any updates you make or comments you make will also go to them via email, so they don't need to come back into the client portal to manage or update ticket status. So I think that about covers it. I think that's most of the core of Communicator and tickets. At the end of the day, it's to help save time and streamline communications and reduce the noise and clutter in your day-to-day.